guys in the back, you're okay? Yeah, all set? Okay. Ron, let's start with you. What do you love about this? We'll do the new, then we'll do the old. What do you love about this team coming up this year? What do you like? What scares you a little bit?
Well, nothing scares me, and I'll be honest with you. After going last year from last to first, it was a very tough schedule for us to do that, but we hit well in September. I like our ball club a lot, and go from last to first means a lot. And the acquisition of Fukudomi, you know.
I'm worried about you there, Ronnie.
Steve Cochran called me just as soon as we got him, and I knew of that. The reason he called, he wanted to know if I could say Fukudumi.
That's from his first name.
We got to start right now. We need to come up with a nickname for this guy.
I say we just call him Chuck.
I like our ball club. We're still not through. We got a couple other moves to make, but we're going to be much improved, and that experience of going from last to first is going to mean a lot. And what I really like about this ball club, defensively we're going to be better, and speed-wise we're going to be better, and that's really important. I like our pitching. If you ask me, I think we could use another right-hander. I think our bullpen is going to be solid with, you know, when you got the 7th and 8th and 9th inning, Kerry Wood, Howery, and Marmol. That's what you want, boy, for those last 3 innings. So I think it's going to be a very, very good year. But I say that every year, as you know. I'm a very positive thinker, and I'm a big Cub fan like all of you. And Lou Piniella, what a job he did, and it's just going to get better, and I think it's time after 100 years. I think.
By the way, I know you guys, or almost all of you in the room have seen him. Sutcliffe is one of the best analysts in the game. You're doing more games for ESPN this year, right? To see him on ESPN as well. And a completely unbiased source on our Cubs. So what are your thoughts on 08?
You know what I remember last year in spring training, about halfway through it, Lou Piniella told me, he said, we're going to win the Central. And, you know, I kind of looked at him, I wondered, Ronnie, if he was watching the same thing that you and I were watching. I mean, they're kicking it around, they didn't know how to run the bases, but honestly, he knew exactly what he was talking about. There were some things that they had to move around, there were some pieces that didn't exactly fit, but this guy's been a winner everywhere he's ever been. What he did with Brian Terrio, I mean, he recognized that right away. And, you know, he also knows that, you know, you're not going to hit the home run every day. You're not going to outslug the other team.
Right.
And so he's added those pieces on the bench to where, on those days where you got a guy that doesn't give up many home runs, Stevie, they found ways to win without hitting a home run. They can play the little ball. Piniella's aggressive. You know what? That was a huge acquisition when they brought him. They put him as a manager.
Now, just the other day, Goose Gossage rightfully got into the Hall of Fame. Lee Smith and Ron Santo are both overdue, but Lee Smith... Yeah, go ahead, get it on. Who's you making that?
Well, I did something, man.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
I must have heard you sing "Take Me Out to the Game."
Well,
he was worried about getting up here and speaking in front of everybody. I said, dude, if you sing, you'll clear this place out.
Oh, you must not slow your tape.
He cannot. He's always bringing a star.
I'm sorry, Mr. Sinatra. I missed it.
I'm just saying, you know, this take me out the ball game, and then all of a sudden, back, you know.
Wait a minute. I want you, you know, these are our people right here. I want you to explain to them what you just told me back, unless that was a lie. What does Santo mean?
Oh, Santo in Spanish.
You said Italian.
I said Italian because I'm Italian. It means saint.
Where's Becker at?
Yeah.
Where's Becker at right now?
I divorced him.
He just
I
peeled
agree.
over, I think. So we got Saint Santo right now. Is that what I'm sorry.
No, hey, listen, we're just eye candy. So Lee Smith, so Gossage gets in. I like your chances. Any of the writers you said all those horrible things to, they're going to be dead soon anyway. So it's going to happen for you. But talk a little bit about what Dempster may be going through. Talk about going from a bullpen to a potential starter spot.
Well, for myself, man, I always thought that it took a really tough guy to pitch day in and day out. Anybody can pitch once a week, man. But I remember Ronnie over here said we got 7, 8, and 9 innings. And he said 3 guys. You take 3 guys to pitch 3 innings?
Well, I'm just saying that's what.
Use the mic, Ronnie.
Yeah,
That's what's going to be used. I mean, who's going to be the closer? I don't know. It could be any one of the 3. That's what I'm saying.
All right,
The 9th inning, that's why they're not sure if Marmo's going to stay as a setup man and not closer, and it's either going to be Howery or
Hey, Bill, could you be quiet and let us?
I was going to jump in anytime.
Give us a minute here to
Continue on, gentlemen.
But I will say,
I'm looking for Ernie, by the way.
those that
ATP.
never saw Lee Smith pitch, and I didn't face him, but most intimidating individual that you want as a closer. You know, big, strong, very hard, and he wasn't just throwing the ball by anybody. He had a good slider, he had good command, and he was there. I can't believe it. It's a travesty that this man's not in the hole.
Well, let's talk about why he became a closer.
Randy.
You guys, yeah, Randy Hundley, but you guys are dogging starting pitchers. Randy Hundley told you, as a starting pitcher, you were only going 2 or 3 innings anyway. Am I right? He said you might as well go the last 2 or 3.
I told you, if you would have left me in the rotation, I would have owned the whole state of Louisiana. He come out to take me out of the game in San Antonio, man, and I'm standing on the mound and looking down on him, and he said, he didn't swear, so we did everything we could do to get him to swear, but we never got him. So he tells me, hey, confound it, get your big butt off the mound. I'm like, hey, I'm not leaving, man. You got to get another ball. So I left him, went to the dugout, took the game ball with me.
Bill, what do you got for these fine 3?
Well, you know, so this is about storytelling, and it occurred to me when Ronnie was playing, Jim Bouton's book came out, Ball 4. Remember that? And it was a scandal in baseball because no one ever told stories, things that happened in the clubhouse. And I was wondering how, it was I think about 69, right when we were, when you were on fire. You remember that? Was there a lot of discussion? Because we're going to tell stories today. We don't care anymore, right?
Well, yeah, but those kind of stories should have never been told, is what I'm saying. There was a book, to sell a book, and believe me, I did not read it. I heard a lot about it, and it was just off the record. There was so much about off-the-field activities rather than about the game itself.
So the code of the clubhouse gets violated then?
Yeah, exactly. And believe me, Bill Hands, I tell the story, and when Bouton became a pitcher with the Houston Astros, and the night before, we were out having dinner, Rebel, Randy Hundley, and Bill Hands and myself, and Bouton was pitching, starting pitcher, and Bill says, I'm going to get him tomorrow. And I said, what do you mean? He said, I'm going to nail him. And I go, oh, come on. He says, well, maybe I'll just knock him on his fanny. But first time up, he threw it right behind him. And then he got back in the box. He threw it up and in. Pretty good pitches that knock you on your fanny. And so then Bouton yells out to him, are we even? You know, I mean, it was really something. And I think a lot of players lost a lot of respect for the man.
Well, you know, but now you've got the whole steroid controversy, and Lee and Rick Sutcliffe in particular. It's fine. It's time for both of you guys to admit that you started juicing about an hour before the convention started. And I think it's both. You're both good if you came clean on that.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. If it would have been Tanqueray, I'd have been the first one on that list.
Ladies and gentlemen, I believe our fourth chair has arrived. Just in from the Sports Illustrated swimsuit shoot, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Cub, Ernie Banks!
You know, 100 years, think of all the happiness these guys have brought us. You know, it's not all just drought here.
That's exactly right. And you know what? That's a great point to make for all of you guys here. Everybody wants to talk about 100 years, 100 years. Think about all the joy for all the people in this room and for the people you love that have come out of the four guys on stage here. How about that?
I don't think you and I are supposed to be here. We're between Mr. Cub and the Saint.
Now, Ernie, I know everybody in the house wants your autograph, but we're a little worried about you. You are wearing clean underwear in case there's an accident, right? Yeah, lean into that microphone, would you please?
Anyway, I've gotta be me, I've gotta be me. So what can I say? Whether I'm right.
Speaking of Tanqueray.
But anyway, nice to see all of you. This is wonderful. We should do this every day. Hey, Mr. Cobb, I'm wondering what this year's rhyme is going to be. In 08, the cut. Remember me? Hello. Hey, we've worked together before.
You don't know my friend Bill Timmy?
Thank you. Give Bill Timmy a nice hand. No, that's very nice. You're my boy in here. He's written many articles. These two guys. Rick, he's written many articles about Frank Sinatra.
Yeah, here you go.
This is why I wanted him here.
Ernie,
I was getting nervous.
Ernie, you got to sit down. This is not the
Ernie, sit down because what is the this year in 08? The Cubs will what do we got? What do we got?
I don't know. You got a new rhyme? You got something for 08?
What do we got, Ronnie? What do we got?
You're the one that comes out with it. What do we got? We got a good ball club.
Hey, you know what I could, because Ernie and I did a little thing a few months ago, and I somehow got from him the secret origin of Let's Play 2 today. And I think, can you do this? Can you tell this story today?
No,
why can't you? No, tell these people, because they don't know this story.
You got it.
Huh? Remember the 60s?
No, they got to hear it from you. So Let's Play 2. Let's Play 2, your love of the game. Is there anything we don't know about that story?
How did that originate?
How did this originate, Ronnie?
Remember?
All I know about Ernie is when I first met him, and I was 20 years old, and we were in Pittsburgh. I opened up in Pittsburgh June 26, 20 years old. I was a nervous wreck. And in those days, you know, a rookie comes up and nobody really talks to you because you got to prove yourself. And so I got dressed and I'm out sitting watching the Pirates hit, and Ernie comes out and sits right next to me, and Bob Friend and Vernon Law, just for all of you who didn't know, one was a 20-game winner in 1960, the other was a 19-game winner, or 21-game winner, and we're playing a doubleheader, and I'm just a nervous wreck, and he sits by me and he says, "Are you nervous?" And I go, "Yeah, I'm very nervous." And he said, "Well, look it." He says, "Look at these two pitchers like they're double-A pitchers. Don't look at what they've done. Just look at them. That when you face them, you're looking at a double-A pitcher." And I'll never forget that when he said that to me, I'm going, "Is he crazy?" You know, I know these two guys and how good they are. And I said, "Ernie, that's easy for you to say." And where the two games come in that I found out, it was raining when we got into Wrigley Field we came back from Pittsburgh, and it was raining, and he comes walking in the clubhouse. I mean, pouring down rain. Let's play 2. And that's the first time I heard that. And it was going to be tough enough to play 1, let alone play 2.
But I've had so much joy with these guys up here, Ronnie, Rick, and Lee, and it's just been a real joy. And I wish everybody could have the opportunity to be with these young men playing for the Cubs. And with Rick, he used to pitch for the Dodgers, and to see him and his determination, and Lee, when he came out, every game to pitch and how hard he could throw. It was just wonderful playing behind them, being with them, listening to their stories, knowing their families, their friends, and Lee, his experience now is more in basketball. When I first met him, and during the off season, we went to the gym. He started shooting the ball around. I said, "Wow, why didn't you play basketball?" But he could have played 2 sports. Did you all know that?
I did.
Yeah, you know what? To pick up on what Ronnie was talking about too, if you're going to do that kind of thing for a rookie, you got to come from good stock. And I'm thinking somebody did it for you. So how about you other 3 guys? Did you have somebody when you came up who did something nice for you to make you feel like you were part of the team?
For myself, was a good friend of mine to this day, Fergie Jenkins. And I mean, this guy took me under his wing. Like Ronnie said, when you first come up, you're nervous, you don't know anyone. And Fergie took me under his wing, started showing me pitches and how to set up hitters and things of that nature. And I asked him, I said, you know what, I really need a roommate. But he said, no, he talked to me about so much about baseball on the field, I'm trying to get away from you. but those guys like that, you never forget. And I still see Fergie, man, is like, he's like my dad to me, man. It's like, I just want to go up there and give him a big hug. But that's Fergie Jenkins was, for me, was awesome.
How about you, Sutcliffe?
You know what, mine kind of involves Mr. Sinatra a little bit. If it weren't for Dusty Baker, I not only would not have played very long in the big leagues, I would have never been able to play for the Cubs, but I probably wouldn't be alive today. Tommy Lasorda and I had a little disagreement one time, and some of you guys know the story. I went into his office and wanted to talk to him about it. He wouldn't talk. Ronnie, he wanted to throw me out. I turned around, I came back, we started arguing. I picked him up, I held him up against the wall, and I'm not real proud of this.
Yeah, by the way, for the youngsters, don't try that.
Yeah, that's probably where my back went out, was it? Holding him up there. But I told him he wasn't so old, I might have beat him up or something. So I threw him in the corner, I grabbed his desk, I picked it up, I slammed it down, I grabbed his rolling chair, and Ernie, you've been in Tommy's office, you know what I'm talking about. Right at the end of his office, there's this huge wall, and it was full of nothing but pictures and bill albums and everything, signed by Frank Sinatra. Oh. I mean, everything's up there, and I grabbed his rolling chair, and I'm going to throw it right through that wall. And right as I go to throw it, there was somebody standing in the door, and they grabbed the chair. It's Dusty Baker, and he's standing there laughing. He said, "Kid," he said, "you're in enough trouble." He said, "You don't need Frank pissed off at you."
I think you got to start to your Cubs book.
Right there. Frank's involved with everything. Frank was a good friend of Leo DeRocher, and Ronnie and Ernie probably have a few, because when Leo came in, the Cub culture changed immediately. I bet. He frightened many a guy in the clubhouse. You remember when Leo came aboard, Ronnie?
Oh yeah, I remember exactly when Leo came aboard, and it was in 1966, and of course we were not playing great baseball, and I met him in spring training, and he had a meeting, and I followed a lot of history of baseball, and I knew he was from the Gas House gang. I knew he was a violent kind of guy, and he could stare you down, but everybody respected him. But I remember the first meeting saying, "Okay, you guys have been playing baseball backwards." He said, "We're going to be bunting, we're going to be hitting and running, we're going to be stealing bases," and I'm sitting in the first row in the clubhouse, and he points to me, "And you'll be running, Santo." And I thought, I never stole a base except after a ball game. And no way in the world. And you could just see that all of a sudden everybody was in awe of Leo DeRocher, and he was a winner. And the opening day, we were out, and Chris Short, Philadelphia, was pitching, and I was hitting fourth, Ernie was hitting fifth, and I'm on base, and I look down at Pete Reeser, and he's giving me the steal sign. Giving me the steal sign with Ernie Banks hitting, you know, and I just didn't believe him. I turned to Joe Malfitano, he didn't say anything, so I didn't go. And so next pitch, pitch is through, I look again, I get the steal sign. I look at Joe, and he doesn't give me go or anything, so I don't go. And right after that pitch, Leo, I'm on first base in Wrigley Field, comes out of the dugout and says, "You're going!" Now here I am. Now I'm really a nervous wreck because now everybody knows I'm going. Everybody. And I was picked off. Never forget that. And when I came in to the dugout, I was so embarrassed walking across. And he didn't say a word, and he never said a word to me after that.
Did he ever send you again?
Well, he never sent me again, but he was setting an example that everybody's going to be running. And that was
Did his signals get any more sophisticated after that?
No.
It's a lot of work if the skip's coming out going, "Now!"
I got a question for you, Ron. I just had lunch with the skipper Lou Piniella, and he said a lot of the fans today have been saying that the way he manages compares to Leo. Any truth to that?
Yeah, very, very true. In fact, they asked me what is the difference between DeRocher and Piniella. And Lou is a lot like Leo. I mean, in a different way, but very highly respected. And you have what you call respect, but a little fear with it. And there's a way of doing it. And in my day, you know, Leo just walked in the clubhouse, and nobody would go get something to eat if you played a bad game. And he'd walk up and down, you're waiting for him to pick you out, you know. Well, the difference between Piniella, who is highly respected, but he's liked in a way. DeRocher was hated. I mean, he was respected, but you know, you never knew what was going to happen. But in what way I think he is that Lou can give you a look, and Lou will, you know, go by you. He'll go one-on-one, but he'll say things where somebody else could hear it too. So very, very. This, you know, I've played against Lou in spring training, and I've known Lou, but I've never seen him or be with him since he's vanished, and he's very, very good.
Yeah, and to pick up on what we were talking about with DeRocher, now Ernie, you had, what, 10 years in when DeRocher takes over?
And he resented you, didn't he? I mean, you were the most popular
give us a little of that, DeRocher.
I mean, look at Ronnie's nodding. There was clearly...
He loved me.
Well, look at that. How do you not love this man? Ronnie, talk about it.
Ernie loves everybody, and he'll never say anything bad about anybody. Everybody's great, and he's a wonderful guy. But DeRocher was jealous of Ernie.
Jealous?
Jealous, yeah.
Jealous, what is that?
Well,
why are you arguing with him, Ernie? He's on your side.
Ernie, Leo's dead.
And
The nice guy's been sad. That's what he said.
he was trying to, he knew that the fans loved him, and all he did, and you know, he was a little older, but still hitting 30 home runs, still driving in 100 runs, and Leo kept, you know, trying to get him to kind of retire, and all Ernie did is drive in 100 runs, hit 30-some home runs, and he was there for the next, I think Leo left before you did, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, 72.
Yeah.
But anyway, you started all of that.
I did?
Yes, it was 1966, Steve. We've had an inter-squad game. You know what an inter-squad game is?
Right.
Leo had you pick a team and me pick a team. You got the first pick and you got the better players going to make the roster. I did not. And we got fortunate enough to beat you on 2 out of 3. So from then on, Leo began to look into it as a challenge to be a manager.
Very
to his job.
See, now he's telling you. See,
that's a great story. There you go.
No, but I love him.
Wait, you
well, you don't love Leo. Don't tell me. Don't even go there. Don't even. You notice that? And that's right. I never thought about that. So he worried about Ernie retiring. Makes so much sense. Leo's going to take his job.
And then Steve,
That's good.
Yes, sir.
There's one game, Steve. This was one game in St. Louis. We played the Cardinals. I'm sure you all read about this game. I was playing first base. The pop-up between me and Becker. So the ball dropped in for a hit and the Cardinals scored. So after the game, Leo had a meeting and put me right in the middle. And he got on me. You all have had this happen to you, haven't you? He got on me up and down and up and down. Everybody was listening and watching and listening. And after the game, we go get on the bus, and Ronnie was so quiet and felt so bad about how he got on me that day. You're the veteran player. You got to catch that ball, and when you're talking about winning and all of that, you got to play hard.
He was nasty.
Huh? And nobody said it, and you were just sitting there, and after the game, we got on the bus, Rick, and everybody was so hurt on the fact that how he got on me that day.
Oh, absolutely.
But I stood tall. I stood tall and did it all, and did it. The country back first.
Ernie's first album will be out soon. You can download it. Ernie's got an iPod. He's very, very hip.
Brother, you just now figured that out?
You know, he's never talked, but I knew. I
No,
knew he didn't like it.
no, he put the mic down because he was calling Sutcliffe something he shouldn't say. Now we know.
I like the same talking.
Now, Rick, we know who your favorite manager was, because last we saw him, you threw him against the wall. Lee Smith, toughest guy you ever worked for, toughest manager.
Well, he wasn't very tough. He was just dumb as a brick. You remember a guy by the name of Joe Morgan that managed for the Red Sox?
Sure. Apparently his family's here.
Well, I think the whole family knew how I felt about it. But like we never had any like run-ins or anything like that. You know, a couple times I hit his clothes and stuff like that. But it was nothing major.
A couple times you hit his clothes.
It was something about he didn't want me to take my nap before the game.
All right, now wait, 'cause this is good. You guys got to understand this, because you told me this 2 years ago, and I've had to tell the story 5 times. I have to hear it again. Very nervous before a game. Lee was always all wound up. For people that want to grow up and be a big league reliever, what was your pregame routine?
Oh, well, I would have, I used to send Greg Maddox out and get me a sandwich, but he got traded. And I would find myself a real comfortable spot and take a nap, and I would tell Yoshi to make sure to wake me up by the 7th inning.
He's not kidding.
My uni before I went out to the bullpen. And that was nothing but